My name is Ed Key. I'm the Secretary of Agriculture, and our department is thrilled about what we're seeing today and what we're supporting and helping. And I think my job is really just to kick things off. One thing I learned early on working for a governor, make sure you don't get so excited about your introductory comments that you steal his speech, because that is not a good thing. But I will say this, and he'll be introduced in a couple of minutes, but Governor Markell gets this. He understands urban agriculture. He understands agriculture in general. He's very supportive, and he's very, very supportive and interested in what's going on in places like we're here today. The other thing is just thank everyone from Kingswood for not only what you do in the garden, but just walking through what an impressive group of programs here in Wilmington for the kids, for the seniors, and for everyone else. And I think we just had a photo op with board members and staff, and we'll try to get that in the New York Times so the New York people understand how good Delaware is. But with that, I'd like to introduce Logan Herring. He's the executive director of the Kingswood Community Center, and he'll have a few comments to make, and then we'll just continue the introduction. So.
Thank you, Secretary Key. I have a sheet here, but I promise I won't be long. I just didn't want to miss anyone. So I'd like to welcome all of you to Kingswood Community Center and the Kingswood Community Urban Garden. There are a few people that I want to acknowledge in no particular order, of course. Governor Markell, thank you for your attendance. Secretary Key, thank you. Dan Shortridge and the Department of Agriculture, everyone that's from the Department of Agriculture, thank you for being here as well. Ann Mattingly from the Delaware Center of Horticulture and the Delaware Center of Horticulture. Newcastle County President, I know he was supposed to be here, but I don't think he's here yet. Penrose Hollins said he would be here. And I want to thank the representatives of Capital One and Target of Brandywine who have been partnering with us for the past few months. So thank you for being here. And last but not least, the Kingswood Board of Directors and our wonderful staff that we have here. In particular, Marcus Watkins, who wrote this grant, and Mr. Abe, who works tirelessly day in and day out in this garden. Not yet. Although I've only been here just a few short months, I am so proud of the progress we've made in such little time. Our board and staff have been tremendous, and this garden is just an example of all the great things that we can achieve if we come together as a team and a community. On behalf of Kingswood Community Center, the board, staff, community, and all recipients of this grant, I would like to thank the Department of Agriculture with the utmost appreciation for allowing our children, families, and community to partake in an experience that could be considered foreign to most in our neighborhood. It's a heartwarming feeling when I walk out here and I see each child fully engaged with dirty hands and smiles. In the words of Barbara Bose, who was instrumental in the creation of this garden just 6 years ago, science class has evolved from pages to plants and diagrams to dirt. Thank you all for attending, and I hope you enjoy your time here at the Kingswood Community Center and Kingswood Community Urban Garden. And before I exit, we'd like to present Governor Markell with a gift from our garden. Bon appetit. And we have a world record zucchini in the basket for you. And so you all don't feel left out, we do have gift bags for each and every one of you. In the gift bags is a book that our kids published 2 weeks ago, a book of poems, and also an audio CD for you that the kids put together. This is part of our prevention program that we run in the evenings, where the kids learn literacy, tutoring, arts and culture, technology, and athletics. And this book is the first of many sure to come, so we hope you enjoy. And we do have bottles of water as well, because I know it's warm out here. Thank you all for attending, and we do appreciate it. And now I'm introducing Ann Mattingly from the Delaware Center for Horticulture.
Thank you, Logan. My name is Ann Mattingly. I'm the Director of Programs at the Delaware Center for Horticulture. Recently returned and proud to say I've returned to both Wilmington and to the DCH earlier this year. I'm looking around at everyone here, and many of you I know, but many of you I don't. And I'm just really proud, honored, and privileged to be here with you all. It takes everyone in our communities to make a difference, utilizing these types of projects, the community gardens, the urban agriculture. And if we didn't work together, we wouldn't be where we are today. Now, I just want to tell you a couple of stories. One a little bit about myself, but more so about other people that have really made a difference in this community and who I've been deeply impacted by over the years. A little bit of background: I grew up in a very rural area. We grew and raised most of what we consumed. We bartered and traded goods with neighbors who had products that we couldn't raise, and we belonged to a large co-op where we were able to buy bulk products. So it may not seem like there's a lot of similarities between how I grew up and the incredible work that's happening here in Newcastle County, but in fact there's some really important similarities. And one of the things I learned as a child was about our interconnectedness, about the interconnection and the connection between one another, the connection with our food, the connection with our natural environment, and how important that connection is to the resilience and the health of our communities. As I said, I'm really proud and honored to be standing here with you all because you've all made such a difference and you've worked so hard in your communities. I want to share a story that when I started at DCH in 2005 as the urban ag manager, that really impacted me and continues to inspire and motivate and humble me. It's a story that starts off, like many others, in a vacant lot with strewn garbage, with dealers doing their thing openly, without an area for community members to feel like their kids have an opportunity to have a safe place to come and gather. But the real difference in this story is that adjacent to this blighted property, which was the most notorious drug corner on the east side of Wilmington, 10th and Pine, was a small but mighty, powerful spirit, Miss Hazel Brown. And I want to use her story because it illustrates so beautifully the transformative power of individuals within their community and how she used plants and food to create a safe haven for the families on the east side. It was her strength of spirit that rallied her neighbors, the city, the Delaware Center for Horticulture, and many others to join with her and clean up that space. She would go out every day and ask the dealers on the corner to take their business somewhere else. That just blows me away every time I think about that. The power and the strength of character and will. What she did was she was the catalyst for that change within her community. She brought us all together to share her vision of a safe haven, a beautiful place for the children in her community. We helped her clean up the lot, although she did most of the work herself. She can still run circles around me. We helped, all of us helped, to plant trees and shrubs and flowers, create a green space in the brick and the concrete, a coolness, a peace, and a calm that you sense as soon as you stop at that intersection. Her door to that garden is not locked. and the children are always welcome. And the dealers have moved their business. But it didn't stop there, even though that would be an extraordinary end to a story. That's just where it began. She worked to bring street trees into the community with the help of DCH. She inspired her neighbors to plant window boxes, planters, and around the corner, a traditional community garden where people could come and grow their own food and teach their children about where their food comes from. She started an incredible intergenerational program where the wisdom and the passion and the knowledge and that connection with community, spirit, environment, and food can be passed down to the younger generations. This is one catalyst. Imagine the impact collectively that we all can have when we decide to stand up and fight for our communities and our city. Urban agriculture, community gardens, they are tools for this. Plants, trees, flowers, beautiful nature connects people, connects us with our natural environment, with each other. So, I have a unique perspective because I left Wilmington about for about 4.5 years at the beginning of this transformative time in urban agriculture, when we were starting to get recognition from the state, from the Department of Ag, from the governor's office, raising that level of education and awareness around the importance of these types of projects. A lot of different groups were starting to come to the table: churches, community gardens, food pantries, school gardens. The diversity was just beginning. The interest was the energy, the momentum. We helped to facilitate the first urban farm at 12th and Brandywine. My perspective is this: for those of us, and I look around and see many of you who have been involved in this work from the beginning, from the early days, you might lose sight of the fact that you're moving forward, that you're impacting your communities, that you're making a difference. It's easy to do that when you feel like you're taking one step forward and 2 steps back. But the reality is you have made a significant change. We have a long way to go working together. But at the same time, I have a snapshot of a 5-year gap to come back to and say, you guys have done amazing work. The partnerships that have developed on the state, the local, the academic levels are incredible. And that's where our collective power is going to make a difference. So if ever you're discouraged, think about that amazing woman at 10th and Pine and what she was able to do. And think about how we as a collective group can really transform our communities and how important that is. And we, as Mrs. Brown taught us, have a responsibility to envision a future that's healthy, a future for our communities that's resilient, that's sustainable for our children's children. We can bring into reality that dream. So I want to thank you all. It humbles me, and I'm honored and privileged to be here with you all because you've done such an incredible breadth and scope of work. I want to thank Secretary Key and the Department of Ag for these micro grants and for the support you've shown, their awareness that you've raised in our communities and in the city of the importance and the significance that urban ag has as part of the entire agricultural system. I want to thank Governor Markell and the First Lady for recognizing the importance of these projects from day one. You've raised the awareness, you have educated, you have promoted and supported these efforts. And that has been truly instrumental in what we're all trying to do. So thank you both. And with that, I'd like to leave and introduce Governor Markell.
Thank you, Ann. Can we get all the kids over here? come on over. What's your name?
Amira, Ava, Kanaya, Jemiah, Kale,
Nevea, Lena,
Trinity, Zayden, Gavin,
You don't want to say your name? Oh, you just did, okay.
Jalen, Bonnie, Nayaja, Thorn,
Mariah,
Ozzy,
Sparkle.
All right. All right, let's hear it for these gardeners. I wanted you guys to all introduce yourselves because this is all about you. And so, if you look at all of these people standing around this garden, we're all standing here because we think this is really important, and more importantly than that, we think you all are really important. And so that is what brings us here today. And I want to thank the folks from Kingswood, Logan and Jean and the entire Kingswood family. Thank you for hosting us today. This is an awesome place. It really is. It's an amazing place. I love coming here. I'm always inspired by the people I meet, whether it is the staff or whether it's the board or whether it's the folks that you serve. And thanks for doing all that you do. And I love urban agriculture. And I love these community gardens, and I am so proud of the leadership of Secretary Key. We have been joined by the County Executive, Tom Gordon, and we've been joined by Penrose Hollins from Newcastle County Council. But I really am proud of what Secretary Key has done. He and I started talking about urban agriculture and community gardens back in 2009. At the time, there were fewer than 10 in Wilmington. Today there are 60 in Wilmington, and if you include the areas adjacent to Wilmington, there are probably more like 80. And I love these spaces for a whole bunch of reasons. First of all, they're nice to look at, and particularly, this is nice back here anyway. But in many of our, many of the community gardens throughout the city and the area, as Ann was saying, sometimes the surrounding parcels are not all that great to look at. And so in the middle of the city, to have all this green space and to see this food growing, I think is great for all of us. It's great to be out in nature right in the middle of the city. So that's one reason. The second reason, I think it's awesome for these young people to have this chance. Have you guys already started working on the garden? Yes? What's the best part of it? Who said that? Digging. All right, what else?
The plants need water and sun.
Yep, the plants need water and sun.
When you putting the food inside of it,
Okay.
watering it.
You like the watering. So my guess is I could go around to all of them and they would like something about it. And probably for many of you, the opportunity to learn this way, it's one thing for us to read stuff in a book, and we can read a lot in a book about growing food, but when you get out and you actually get to see it with your own hands, and you get to, plant the in the dirt and move the soil and take the weeds out and water, it makes it even more real, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. So I love that part. I love the fact that it means that people throughout the city have healthy, fresh food to eat. I love, in some of the cases, the folks in the community actually get to sell the food, so they learn the business part of it as well. So there's just a whole lot of great stuff going on, and it's not that expensive. There's some things we do which really cost a whole lot of money. This is not that expensive, and yet these young people get such a benefit out of it. So I am thrilled, and I think this micro grant program, which is something that Secretary Key came to me back in November. The way we do our budget in Delaware, all the agencies work on it through the summer, and then I get together with them in November and December. And Secretary Key he's a very nice guy, but he's got a steel spine. And he came in and he told me exactly how he felt about how important this program was, and I'm so glad that it's happening. So we're making a number of, and how many recipients? 10 recipients. Where are you guys going? All right, they're done. They had enough of me. But this is a great program, and I think we're going to see, you know, for really not a lot of money, we're going to see some great investment. What's that? You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Let's hear it for them. And you know, you made my talk a whole lot more interesting for everybody standing around here, so thank you. But anyway, I am very grateful to everybody who is a part of this. To those of you who have been doing this for a long time, thank you so much. For those of you who are new to it, thank you so much. And I hope that we get to do more and more. And the way we transform cities and communities is block by block. It's block by block. And I really do believe that this urban agriculture, these community gardens, is part and parcel of that, and I think we all can make an amazing difference together. So thank you all very much. And with that, who am I turning this? I am turning this back over to the guy who has been such a champion of this. He lives down in Sussex County, and he wants all the farmers down in Sussex County to think he's always been in Sussex County, but he went to William Penn High School. And he doesn't like share that very broadly, but it's true.
Let's talk about the battles between William Penn and his alma mater, Newark High. To tell you the truth, Newark always whipped us when I was going through school, so I have to admit it. A couple of things to give you an idea of what's going on. I want the County Executive Gordon to say a couple words, and then Logan wants to. But what we're going to do in a second is introduce all the recipients. So this micro grant program, yes, I did throw my pencil down in the budget meeting and got a little aggressive that day, and this guy loved it. He's over there laughing like, "Go Ed," you know. So, but the idea really came from Holly Porter, our policy assistant at the Department of Ag. She walked in one day and said, "We have all these gardens. They need support. They don't need a lot, but they need something." And so that was her concept. And as the governor said, it is in the budget to go up to $20,000 to do 20 gardens next year. And you know, Ann Mattingly had it right. It didn't start with us. It started with people like Miss Brown and all the others. It starts at the grassroots. So before we introduce the recipients for this year, let me call up County Executive Gordon.
I'll be really quick, and I thank the governor again for programs like this that he brings all over the city, and for the great secretary for being here. I'm home again because I was chairman of the board here for many years. Many years ago, we had Reverend Oliver on the board. And I know the governor knows the importance of this community, and I'm glad to see it's back on the rise. What I hear, and we're all going to work to make sure it goes back to its prominence in helping the citizens of Wilmington in this area. I have Sam Guy with me today. I have Frank Cook and Wayne Dotson, and I'm glad to see my favorite council person is here. So thank you all, and we're looking forward to the great future here at Kingswood. Thank you.
Thank you. Logan, if I'll introduce the recipients, then you can wind us up if that makes. You see, this is a carefully orchestrated program which is the way I love it. You know, we just show up and have fun, and we get the job done. So we have 11 grant recipients here. If you would come up, shake the governor's hand, and then stay up here for some photo ops. The first is Fiandra Manzera, who we all know, and Lindsay Lancaster is her partner on this. They are working on a garden at Pleasantville Elementary School out in Newcastle. Next is Jim Waddington. He's for the Kent County Economic Partnership, and they have multiple garden sites in Kent County. Next is Father Bill Lane, the parish priest at St. Nicholas Episcopal Church in Newark. Father? Carlos Charez is a teacher at Wilmington Friends School His students have 2 organic gardens, one on school property and one in a state park. Andrew Favreau and Mary Steppe are members of the Elsmere Garden Society members, and they've done a great job. Gene Warren, the Executive Director of Lutheran Community Service, which operates a community food pantry in Wilmington. Pat Shea represents the Market Street Community Garden in Wilmington. Pat? Now there are three groups that couldn't make it here today. One is Downtown Visions, which is Market Street Community Garden in Wilmington, the Absalom Jones Senior Center in Wilmington, and the W. Reily Brown Elementary School Garden in Dover. So Logan, with that, and we'll frame up the picture as we get ready, but Logan, thank you for hosting us today. Thanks to everybody for applying for the grant, and we look forward to more applications next year. Sure.
Ms. Brown, would you be willing to say a few words? Sounds like you are very much the inspiration for much of this today.
I would just like to say, Governor, it's so nice to shake your hand. It's so nice to be recognized. My determination is that it doesn't take a lot of money to be clean, and I'm determined wherever I live, I will be like that, and I will encourage my neighbors to. Having the drug dealers thrown at my block wasn't the easy thing, but I was persistent about it, and it did happen with the help of the police. And I'd like to say thank you to the Horticulture Center of Wilmington, because they have been very helpful in all of the little things I try to do to improve where I live and make everybody happy. Thank you.
I just wanted to first thank you all for being here again. And I also want to apologize because I failed to recognize first-class organization and the people of that organization, that is United Way. And I thank you so much, Tyrone Jones, Jamie Boone, Tierra Fair, and everybody at United Way. It's funny, County Executive Mr. Tom Gordon said Kingswood and the words rise, and recently on our Facebook page, I've been using the hashtag Kingswood on the Rise, because we are revitalizing this community center, and everyone that's involved. And we thank you so much, in United Way. I apologize. I had you on the list, and I skipped right over you. But I was waiting for Mr. Jones to get here, that's why. Second thing, July 23rd, we are having our annual Kingswood Day. It's an all-day event from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. We would love for you all to attend. It's a free event for the community. I have gone way overboard. We have water slide, moon bounces, and a petting zoo, and bubble soccer, and a performance, a live performance. But I just want the people in this community to see things that they normally wouldn't see every day. And again, that's what this urban garden is about. So again, I thank you all for being here so much. On behalf of myself, Kingswood Community Center, the board, I thank you all. And don't forget to get your bag on the way out. We got a special book and CD in there for you as well. All right? Thank you so much.
Good. Perfect. Okay, Governor, if you would merge in with the group. Yes. And Logan, you should be in there. And